Heidi Howitzer's like a brick wall. That kick from Billy Starks. Look at that straight in the face. Starks, the leverage. And just sit Heidi on her face.
Okay, now what's Billy doing here? What's she going to do?
She's getting creative.
She's trying to hit a home run here. That's what she's trying to do.
Headed to the stars up top in the ballpark. Billy Starks.
Calling her shot.
Textbook swanton from Billy Starks, and that is ball game at the ballpark. Billy Starks, welcome to GloryPro.
Enforcer Art Anderson, and a big left hand by the enforcer Art Anderson rocks Jerry Wyatt. Up and over and out of the ring goes Jerry Wyatt, courtesy of Ace Steel. Slice bread number 2 attempted by Vic Capri. Steel with a big shotgun drop kick sends Capri into the corner. Tagging to Rock Anderson. And a spike pile driver by Anderson and Steel onto Capri. We've got a cover. 2 and 3. That'll do it. The winners of this matchup, Ace Steel and Rock Anderson, along with their manager for the evening, the enforcer Art Anderson.
Jackson's on his feet. Camaro Jackson has found a whole different level. Outlaw, staggered. Jackson waiting on him. He says this is all. Camaro Jackson, lariat. He rolls him over, center of the ring, count of 3. He's done it. Camaro Jackson is the Crown of Glory champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, 21 minutes, 27 seconds. Your winner by pinfall and the new Crown of Glory champion, the Quad Mother, Camaro Jackson.
He had to walk through the valley of darkness in this match to reach the promised land. Mike Outlaw threw everything at Camaro Jackson, and it just wouldn't be enough. Camaro Jackson would not say die. And because of that,
By himself, this could be it.
Beautiful northern lights.
What the Steve Pierce shooting star press.
Turned into a Boston Crab.
Boston Crab, this is it. Wade's got to keep an eye out though for Moonshine. Where the hell's he at? This could be it.
Fans telling Carrington to tap.
Gonna be. Oh, and then Wade comes flying into your picture, launched into frame by Mantell to break up that Boston Crab. Ryder kind of losing control of this one.
Oh, he's definitely lost control.
He's gonna let it play out. Running food into a Alabama slam, and that might do it. And it does. What a combination there. Big Alabama slam, and the family picks up their first win with Carrington on board. With Carrington getting the pinfall, and you know Joe Vi's gonna be loving that.
Gonna be a little bit extra in the envelope later in the evening for them.
Come on, man.
Welcome to episode 29 of the I-70 Hot Tag, where we chat and promote local independent wrestling in both Kansas and Missouri. Our guest tonight has a big matchup this Sunday at GloryPro The Relentless, as well as Central States Wrestling Vendetta on November 5th. The big strong boy, Ethan Price, joins us live. Plus, we'll chat all things New Breed Wrestling, including the triple threat match for the Midwest PopCon title. And speaking of triple threat, last but not least, we'll be doing a watch-along of the triple threat match from CSW Strapped between Dan the Dad, Luigi Primo, and Ethan Price. Don't go anywhere, because the I-70 hot tag starts now.
This is the Kenny Alfonso.
I am Old Evil, that damn coyote, Christian, by God, Rose.
This is that boy, SK Bishop.
This is the premier superstar, Campbell Myers.
This is the Mile High Magnum, Zach Draper.
This is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current reigning, defending Impact World Champion. You're watching the I-70 hot tag.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Chase, aka CR Media. We are live for another episode of the I-70 Hot Tag. What is this? Episode
29.
29. Man.
It was quick,
super, yeah, super excited. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking to Ethan Price, as you heard in the intro video. So if you guys are watching us, I'm sure you're probably watching us on the I-70 Hot Tags Facebook page or the I-70 Hot Tags YouTube page. But we're also live on twitch.tv/CRmedia1988. So if you have not already, make sure you go to twitch.tv and hit that follow button on CR Media. We're going live several times a week. And, so that way you make sure you hit those notification bells and those reminders and all that stuff, so you never, ever miss any live content from us. I know we've got a little bit of a tease, so to speak, Josh.
Yeah. We've kind of talked about it for about at least a week, maybe a week and a half. I say week and a half because we had a pit stop in between. But we've been talking about a big guest that we have on next week's edition of the Hot Tag. And we're going to announce that right after the 5-minute break. So make sure you guys stick around. Chase, I think it's a pretty elite guest.
You think so?
I think so.
All right. So I want to go through these comments. One of the things, if it's your first time joining the I-70 Hot Tag, one of the cool things about the I-70 Hot Tag is we like to get you, the viewers, involved. We usually always do an interview with a wrestler or a personality involved in one of the wrestling companies in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And, we're not just asking the questions, you're asking the questions as well. So to kind of, get into the comments, we've got the Splash Zone. The Splash Zone, I don't think I've seen them chat before. I could be wrong. My memory's not as good as it used to be. I'm getting older. But Splash Zone, if you have not already, make sure you hit that follow button on YouTube. He says, Ethan Price, big strong boy. Ethan Price, big strong boy. By God. So Hunter Dillon says, made it. Hey, here's a cool fact for you. Stayed up till 2:00 in the morning in ABJ's Discord playing Wheel of Fortune and The Price is Right with Hunter Dillon. He has like the digital game on his desktop.
Yeah.
And like he shared his screen in the Discord and we all played and it was a blast, dude.
That's awesome.
It was a blast. I wanted to go to bed. I kept telling myself after the Dynamite show I was going to bed. But then like we got in the Discord and Hunter joined and it was awesome.
It was over.
So Beckerman says, hey everyone, appreciate you joining. Guys, if you haven't already, like I said, I know we talk about the social media things a lot, but CR Media is Let's do this. Hey, Josh, while I'm looking this up, why don't you tell everybody? Josh, my really good friend, Josh, guys. I did not hit bankrupt one time last night. So me and Jake did not hit bankrupt. It was Cairo and Axel who kept hitting bankrupt. So I did not. Josh, while my good friend Josh runs the I-70 Hot Tag social media, guys. So I'm going to let Josh tell you where you can find him and the I-70 Hot Tag on social media.
Yeah. So pretty much any social media account, guys, any social media platform, you can find the I-70 Hot Tag. Most active, obviously, on Facebook, YouTube. But we've also got Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. So come on out there and follow us on all of our platforms. We do exclusive posts and videos for each platform. So we may not post it to every single one. So if you guys don't follow one, you may miss something, but go follow us there. You can also follow me at The Real Josh Elliott. I'm on pretty much the same platforms. But again, for that wrestling content, the I-70 Hot Tag is where you can find all the local Kansas and Missouri wrestling news and updates.
Absolutely, guys. And CR Media, like I said, it's the CR Media 1988 on all forms of social media. You're going to find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Speaking of TikTok, I am 17 away from 1,000. Once you hit 1,000 on TikTok, you can go live. We want to go live because the more places we go live, the more people will see us. We want to saturate the market, so to speak. So yes.
We need to get a sting for that one.
Yeah.
So play an audio clip of it.
So everybody in the chat or anybody watching right now, if you have a TikTok, if you have not already, please go like CR Media 1988 on TikTok. Like I said, 17 away from 1,000, making a strong push. Want to give a humongous shout out to last week's hot tag guest, Anakin Murphy. And then also a huge shout out to Monday's guest, Anaya Howlett. We had a special run-in from Hoodie Howlett on that show, which was lots of fun. The Wild Card Anaya episode. If you missed those episodes, don't worry. We play them on. We have them on video on demand on the YouTube and on Twitch. But if you don't have the time to sit down and watch the hour and a half interview, plus the show, we also have the podcast, and you can find it on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, and Spotify, guys. The Anaya episode will be uploaded tomorrow. Other than that, all the other episodes on there, you can find them. There is a couple of missing. And the reason why they're missing is because we've had technical difficulties. But other than that, most of, if not all of our episodes, you can find on there. So, now that we've got all that out of the way, Josh,
time to
I
get
usually
down to
let
it.
I usually let you do the honors, and I'll continue to do that. Why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest tonight, sir?
Absolutely. So like we said in the intro, guys, we have a very special guest. He's got a big match at GloryPro The Relentless this Sunday night. Also on November 5th, CSW Vendetta. He will be going one-on-one with the best pizza chef, Luigi Primo. Let's welcome on our guest tonight, the big, strong boy, Ethan Price.
Hi, I'm Ethan.
How you doing, sir? Appreciate you taking the time out tonight.
I appreciate you guys having me. No, I'm doing really good.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely
Pleasure.
fantastic.
Yes, pleasure to have you on here. Ethan, the whole point of these interviews is to kind of, get you on here and let you let our viewers kind of get to know Ethan Price a little bit more.
Gotcha.
And kind of put your name out there a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the inside scoop.
That's right. So with that being said, Ethan, I start off every single one of my interviews with the same question, and it is, tell us who Ethan Price is.
Ethan Price is a big, strong boy that will never stay down. His strength, my strength, comes from my persistence to always get back up and to always keep trying. It's not about the end result. It's about the journey.
There you go.
And I'm also going to suplex you over my head. So, yeah, like really, you can take either or, whatever you prefer.
Either or, I like it.
Right. We always like to ask kind of how you first became a fan of professional wrestling, and then how you initially broke into the business.
I woke up in a ring. No. So I'm pretty sure one of my earliest memories was like wrestling. I'm pretty sure I can vaguely remember running into the living room where my dad was watching TV, and I remember seeing a really red color, and then I look on the TV and it was Kane. I remember seeing big 7-foot giant with fire behind him coming down to the ring, and I was just like, what is that? And yeah, I was like pretty much like hooked from the moment I saw it until my mom made me stop watching during the Attitude Era, and I had to pop back on it like summer of 2004, so like right around SummerSlam. So yeah, every time I went back to it, I was like immediately hooked. I've always liked it.
So what's the story of you how did you first break into professional wrestling? So
I started in Texas. I started in Austin at George de la Isla School at the time. America's Academy of Pro Wrestling is run by Papa Don now. And so George de la Isla and Papa Don helped train me with the fundamentals and the basics, and then kind of just started branching out. And I was lucky to be around the people I was at the time, because we all kind of just were able to branch out together. People like me, Cody Lane, Laney Luck, Allie Catch. It was a unique group of people that really kind of just branched out, and I was lucky enough to be along for the journey, because they just kind of dragged me, which was nice.
So, Ethan, we love talking about gimmicks and nicknames from one performer to the other. Tell us a little bit about the scholar Ethan Price, and then talk to us about how and when did the big, strong boy Ethan Price begin?
So, the idea with the scholar was I was doing. Did you guys see what I was doing before the scholar?
We saw a little bit of it, but I saw the scholar and the big strong boy was the two major ones that I came across.
So I had a phase early in my career where I was a college fraternity bro, and I was just really into drinking beer and throwing beer pong balls at people in the audience. I don't know why. I just got a sense of fulfillment from it. But then one day I realized I needed to buckle down and to study, because I was just wasting my time throwing balls at people. So I needed to hit the notebooks and to study up. And I brought my notes with me to the ring to make sure I could never forget them. And that's I was the scholar. I was no longer your little college fraternity bro. I was a studious little boy ready to learn about the world of pro wrestling.
That's funny. When did you first start using the big strong boy moniker?
I think it was I want to say sometime around 2018, maybe late 2017. Inspire Pro down in Austin. When they brought me in, they put me with a manager whose name was Roxy Castillo. I love her to death. She's awesome. But so she would I'd always be nervous before my matches, and she would hype me up, and like oh, you got this, you're the greatest thing in the locker room. You're the best ever. You're so, look at you. You're big. You're strong. You're my boy. You're my big strong boy. Get out there, my big strong boy. And so I went out there, and during one of my matches, she was just screaming, "That's my big strong boy," and it just caught like wildfire. The crowd just started eating it up, and so I was like, "Oh, well, I guess that's who I am now. I'm just big strong boy now." And yeah, it was just from there.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So doing some research, we saw early on in your career, you were involved in a tag team match in a promotion called MSWA, where your opponents one of your opponents was WWE legend and Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And according to that was on Cage Match. Tell us kind of what that was like, kind of working with Hacksaw.
So if you, for some reason, know me in the locker room, I'm notorious for not remembering certain things. I don't remember actually having. When was this? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I don't really remember that.
It was in. It was one of your probably third or fourth matches listed on Cage Match. I was looking up some of your early on wrestling matches.
No. Funny story from that. So if you can even just pull up the link right now and look at the year that match is listed.
Okay.
Because a funny fact, I have been wrestling since the early 2000s. And
okay.
Apparently there was another person named Ethan Price, and his career and my career have kind of conjoined into one super career. So together we have spanned, 2 decades.
Oh,
so if you can find if you can find the year that happened, I guarantee it was like in early 2000s, because I'm a multiple time champion in places, boys. And I didn't have to lay a finger. It's probably my proudest accomplishment.
Nice. Well, this next question, Chase has this next one. This may or may not stem from that as well.
I can just riff with it. We'll just roll with it. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was fantastic, man. He was just like, brother, ho. Well, yeah, I got it. Got you. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was really nice. He was very, very nice man. Shorts. Next question. Come on, boys. Let's go.
Jiminy fucking Christmas. All right. So, you've, according to our research, you've been in, the ring with some of the best who've worked in top promotions, like
Absolutely.
Jonathan Gresham, MJF.
Yes.
Ricky Starks.
Yes.
One name that kept showing up time and time again, whether it was a partner or an opponent, was Cody Lane, which I know for a fact you've been in the ring with Cody Lane.
Who?
Talk to us about the history between you and Cody.
Man, so Cody was already wrestling at the AAPW school, America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. He was already there like 5 months before I showed up. And we were kind of not standoffish, but we didn't really vibe for the first couple of months. But then when you're staying after practice and you see the people that are staying there, and you guys are just constantly trying stuff. Like you kind of just develop that bond. And like, yeah, Cody was like one of my very first friends in wrestling. And pretty much anywhere he went, he was like, Krusty, come here. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, dude. So yeah, he's just kind of dragged me along everywhere, and it's been really good. He's my best friend.
Awesome. Him and Dan the Dad did a promo recently, and it was pretty awesome.
Dude, yeah, man.
The D,
Cody stuff
the
for
D house and stuff.
If I could just like put Cody on for a second, like if you haven't checked out Cody Lane for some weird reason, go to like his Twitter or his Instagram and just look at every video he puts up, because they are just beyond hilarious. Cody is ridiculously funny.
Yes.
And he's really good. He's very, very good.
The Boulevard Battery wants to know, is Ethan doing this from his family's computer in the basement at his parent house?
Maybe. You'll never know.
That's right.
They're asleep. My parents are Need to be quiet. Or they start screaming at me.
We talked about this a little bit off air, but we had Christian Rose on about a month or so ago, and he kind of talks about how, independent wrestling is kind of like living in a Marvel universe, where in like one promotion you're the hero, and in another promotion you're the villain, but you're really just a little bit different version of yourself. You were one of the first ones we noticed this with, where we saw you in Central States Wrestling, and you were the big strong boy. You were a heel. Fans were booing you, and then literally a week later, we turn on GloryPro on YouTube, and the crowd absolutely loves you. And so, kind of tell us what it's like working as a babyface and a heel, kind of, from one weekend to the next.
Yo, man, it's got to be in the air. You know what I mean? It's just like the moment you enter a city, and there's just something in the air, and it just changes you from city to city. You just can't tell what it is, and Kansas City just brings out the worst in me every time I go there.
It's that smell. It's that smell of the river. That's what it is. When you get close to North Kansas City, yeah, it does it to me too.
It just reeks. It just reeks, and I just can't help but just be angry that I'm even there.
Yeah.
No, to answer your question though, I actually started my career as a babyface for like a really short time, and then I moved to doing that college frat boy gimmick, and I got to work as a heel. So I've gotten to do both for a while, but probably for the past like 3 years, I've been consistently booked as like, your go-to babyface. I don't know why people just like to watch me go. And then whenever I got to CSW, I was just angry to be there, so I just kind of let it out, and people didn't like me, and I felt okay about it. I can't explain it, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to let out your little spoiled brat side.
Brian J says it's the car ride there with Luigi Primo.
No, but I come from like the St. Louis area, so I ride with a lot of people from St. Louis. But Luigi Primo is somebody that we kind of got to go through the Indies in Texas together. He was in a lot of locker rooms that I was in whenever I was in Texas, and we always kind of ran into each other. So it's cool that now that we're all the way up here, and it's even cooler for him to get so much attention lately, because people don't know that he actually works really, really hard. And he's also apparently really, I don't know, self-proclaimed good at making pizza, but I've never tried one. So
there's a 6-minute clip online of me ranting about some of the people that that weren't too happy about Luigi Primo's appearance on AEW. So it is what it is. So
it is what it is. But that's what's so cool about wrestling is, no matter what your taste is, there's there is something there for you. You know, like Sami Zayn just wrestled Johnny Knoxville at a WrestleMania. Who's not going to enjoy that?
Yeah. I mean, wrestling is subjective. So it's weird that we get into this tribalism and this odd thing that people do. It's, you know, it's subjective. It's for everybody. And yeah, it's awesome. Ethan, let's talk about this Sunday in St. Louis. You're going to be standing across the ring from a behemoth, a man you've stood beside for the past few months, a man you thought was your friend. At GloryPro The Relentless, you're going to go one-on-one with Jake something. Tell us what we can expect from that match on Sunday, sir.
I mean, it's in the story itself of, you know, we faced each other one-on-one before, and I thought I earned his respect as enough to be his partner and enough to feel like we maybe had a bond, like I could learn from him, or, you know, I could, you know, succeed with him. And, you know, we came up a little bit short and he got mad. Well, I'm mad now too. So, you know, like, yeah, he's, you know, a behemoth, you know, he's a, you know, gigantuan. You can use whatever word you want, but it doesn't mean I can't still put him through a table. You know, you don't have to pin me. You don't have to make me tap out. I'm just going to put you through a table. That's the end of the story, because maybe that'll make me feel better, because I'm seething.
Yeah. We got to see Jake something go through a table on at the pageant. So
yeah. I reckon that's probably I reckon that's a little bit why he's mad too, and probably why he thinks he can just put me through a table. But I don't know. I don't stay down very easy, and I can toss you around.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yep. So I just want to give a shout out to the comments here, guys. If you have any questions for Ethan Price, it's your last chance to get them in.
Oh no.
We talked about GloryPro, but we kind of wanted to talk about Central States Wrestling. You know, you're going to go one-on-one with in Kansas. The best pizza chef Luigi Primo. So you posted a video, or you sent in a video for Central States, and they posted it on their Facebook page.
Right.
We have a clip of that video that we'll play here, and then we'll get your thoughts on the match here. So let me get this pulled up.
Okay. Gotcha. Yes. Reminisce.
So, Luigi Primo, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of the big, strong boy?
That's the same room you're in, isn't
Well,
it?
you better be careful what you wish for, because I accept your
That's a different
challenge,
parent's basement.
not just because the commission already booked the match. You see, Luigi, I've got plans for you. I've got big, strong plans. You see,
I have a singular wall,
but this time
and I just go to it whenever I need to record something.
I'm going to close up the shop. I'm going to take your greasy little head and squeeze it in between my biceps, and I'm going to squeeze all the dumb little pizza sauce out of your head. It'll be gross. Make sure to bring your napkins.
Gonna squeeze the pizza sauce out of his head.
Bro, it's just overflowing. His ego is overflowing, the pizza sauce is overflowing, and you know, you don't have enough tissues for it. You don't have enough napkins in the world to clean up the mess that he keeps making, but I'm gonna do my best, because for some reason I have to be the janitor in Kansas City, and Luigi is the trash that needs to be taken out.
So out of curiosity, Ethan, you know, I got, you know, my curiosity struck, you know, when we were talking about the Hacksaw Jim Duggan thing. Were you in a tag team called the Three Kings with Al Farrat?
No. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, way back in the day. Alpha Rat and I. Yeah, we used to be the ring rats.
So
And
it was MSWA at Sugar Creek Casino in Oklahoma, and you guys faced Jim Duggan and the Bad Boy.
a hell of a match. One of the few recollections I have in my career, actually. I remember it like it was yesterday or 2003. I can't really remember. Hell of a match. Banger.
It says it was 2017, so that's why I wanted to ask you about it, because
I don't know, not at all. I do not recall this one. That's very interesting, but that would be that would be my timeline.
Yeah.
Maybe I get hit. That could be the match that I was hit in the head with the 2x4 and just forgot it all.
Yep.
That could very well be. That could be the match that.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense. If you have memory loss from being hit in the head with a 2x4, I would be willing to gamble that the wrestler that hit you in the head would be Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
That's a safe bet, but I could also blame it on Cody.
You could.
So we'll leave it there.
We do have a couple questions here in the chat. We've got Hunter Dillon, who's watching us on Twitch. He says, past or present, who would be your dream wrestling opponent?
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson?
Without question. So I went to college at the University of North Texas, which is where Stone Cold Steve Austin went to school. Cool little fact.
Stone Cold went to UNT?
Yeah, he did. Mean Green, baby. But while I was there, I just kind of stopped wanting to do school, and I kind of just wanted to do wrestling. And what really pushed me to do that was watching somebody like Bryan Danielson, because we're smaller guys, and back then it was seen as smaller guys wouldn't be seen as top prospects, but he completely changed the game and was able to give me confidence to want to take a bump, to want to run the ropes, to try to put on a good match every night. He's still a source of inspiration for me. So even if it was just like 5 minutes, Danielson would be the person I would want to step in a ring with, simply for that emotional connection, just for me. He'll be like, thank you, have a nice day. And I'll be like, whew.
So yeah. I lived in Louisville, Texas, for 5 years. And actually,
how'd you like that?
I did. I love the North Dallas area. And actually enrolled in UNT and enrolled out to go to wrestling school, and then enrolled out of that because I already had a baby already. And
congratulations.
Going to wrestling school wasn't ideal. So instead, I elected to keep waiting tables. So
yeah, I mean. No, that's awesome though. Like you took priority for your family, and now you have a family.
Yeah, of course. But no, UNT.
That is a fun coincidence, though.
Yeah, super fun. Like all of my friends that were, because I was working in the restaurant industry, and of course in Louisville, super close to Carrollton and Denton, and that's where a lot of the kids lived, anyways, because living on campus costs way too much money. So.
Oh, I remember. At the time, I didn't have a car, so I had to live close to the school so I could get to my classes. And yeah, it was not cheap, not close.
We've got a question here from Brian J. Bebe. Brian J. wants to know He said at CSW Horseman Country, you wrestled Camaro Jackson. You were begging him not to do moves. What was the logic behind it? To throw him off his game?
Yeah. Of course, that's what it was. It was all up here. It was all strategy. You know, I used to be a scholar. I don't need a notebook now. It was to. I mean, you know, like sometimes people see, you know, like a wounded animal. You know, he's a beast, and he saw a wounded animal. He's probably gonna be like, you know, maybe I'll go do something else. And then that's when you go and you pounce, and you know he's foolish for even listening. So I was playing it smart. The strongest muscle in my body is my brain. Look at that.
Beckerman says Big Strong Boy and Big Blank Wall is my favorite tag team. Tag him in.
We've had some good times, me and this wall. I remember there was one time where I was standing in front of it, and were you there?
No, we just watched it.
Oh, good times though. Good times, like classic.
Hunter Dillon says, I heard Jim Duggan's 2x4 does not feel good when he hits you with it.
Hunter Dillon, I would not remember.
Yeah. I loved it. When we end this interview, you're gonna go online and you're gonna be like, I know damn well I'm not the guy that faced it.
Well, like not. And this is not bragging. Like, don't take it as bragging at all. If anything, it's bad on me for not remembering the people I've been in the ring with. But I know I've been in a ring with Raven, the Spirit Squad. I might have been in a ring with Nikita Koloff. I know I was on tour with him. So I forget things. I don't know. Those are the ones that come to those are the ones that come to mind when I think of, like, you know, the older wrestlers that I've gotten in the ring with.
And then Brian J says that he knew that when he asked that question. He calls you a psychological genius.
Well, why'd you ask the question if you knew it? You could have asked something else, man. You could have gotten new information.
So that's we got Boulevard Battery again. He says, since you use the I Want It All by Queen as your entrance music, and you spoke about being a babyface in other areas outside KC, what entrance music do you also use?
So if you've seen the Peacemaker intro, John Cena's Peacemaker intro, there's the band that does Do You Want to Taste It is Wigwam, and I was really digging that song and the vibe of that band. So it might have been me, Dan, and Cody, because they wanted me to change my music, and I was ready to change my music too, because I used to come out to You're the Best by Joe Esposito, the one from Karate Kid.
Yep.
And I kind of felt like I was outgrowing it. So now, from that Wigwam band, I come out to Gonna Get You Someday, which is a banger and instantly pumps adrenaline into my chest. But I Want It All is a lot of fun too. I like that one. It pumps me up as well in a different way for Kansas City, specifically for Kansas City.
Dean Houston wants to know, what is your favorite finishing move?
My favorite finishing move is, I call it the Big Flex, and it is a top wrist lock while my opponent his stomach is on the mat. I used it to beat Paco. I tried to use it to beat Jake something. I was close to beating Ethan Page with it. The Big Flex is one of my favorites because it just, you know, their arms here and they're screaming, ah, and you know, I'm where the wall is, and going and they're tapping. It's
Instant.
classic big strong boy.
I like it.
Love it.
So, Ethan, what other ventures or bookings do you got going on in the next couple weeks that we haven't talked about already?
Let's see. I do forget my schedule until I look at my calendar, but I know I got Glory, I got CSW coming up. That's all I can think of at the moment.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's all good.
And then Ethan, why don't you tell our viewers where they can buy some Ethan Price merch?
Yes. Ethan Price merchandise. I have an older shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees up. Hopefully I'll have the new design pretty soon on Pro Wrestling Tees as well. But otherwise, if you could find me at any of your local wrestling shows, I will always have a Big Strong Boy t-shirt by this weekend. And you can purchase those or whatever 8x10s I have. But hopefully we'll start branching out soon. Me and this wall.
Wall.
Where can everybody find you and that wall on social media?
Yes. Well, I'm not going to promote the wall because he's had enough. But you can find me at I believe it's Ethan Price 4_0, like 4.0. That'll be Instagram and also Twitter. Those are the two ones I mainly use. So give me a follow.
Give him a follow, guys.
Absolutely.
Do it. Go ahead. You're already here.
Ethan, I don't know if you heard the intro. One of the things that we always do after the, at the end of the interviews, we ask that our guests kind of turn on the gimmick and just say, hey, this is Ethan Price and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
Which gimmick do you want?
Whichever one you feel like. Whichever one you think whichever one you think will sound really good in the intro.
Okay, we'll just do it by feel.
All right.
We're gonna remove ourselves from the screen and they'll have you do it on your full screen.
The I-70 Hot Tag.
I-70 Hot Tag.
And now that they're all gone and it's just me, you're looking at the big strong boy and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag podcast.
Oh yeah, you're good. That was perfect.
Perfect.
Man.
One take.
One take. We greatly appreciate that, sir. We greatly appreciate you taking your time to do this.
Thanks for having me, guys. This was fun.
Absolutely, anytime. We're kind of getting to the point where we've got a lot of areas to cover. Because we mainly just focus on Kansas and Missouri. But we were talking backstage even before you got on there that we might have to start looking at two-time guests soon. So we definitely and we will.
Well, the wall would be happy to come back.
Absolutely, and we will see you at the. Will you have a merch table at the at Vendetta?
I will at Vendetta and as well as CSW. I will have a merch table up and ready.
Fantastic. We will be at the table as well at CSW.
Yes.
So come
all right, boys. I'll see you there.
All right, buddy.
All right. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
All right, man. That was Ethan Price, ladies and gentlemen. We greatly appreciate Ethan taking time and hope you guys enjoy the interview. As you guys know, this is the part in the show where we take a 5-minute intermission. Go get situated, come back, and then continue hanging out with us. Make sure you watch the video in the middle of the intermission. The video is going to tell you about all the local stuff going down, all the events in Kansas and Missouri. So definitely don't go anywhere. We've got a lot of stuff to cover and a lot of stuff to talk about when we get back. Josh, you got anything before we go to break?
Yep. So the first two promotions that are in this clip in the mid-show break It's going to run down the entire card for both GloryPro and Cape Championship Wrestling, which is happening this weekend. Not to mention, guys, right after the 5-minute break, you do not want to miss it. We are going to announce who our guest is that we've been teasing for the last couple weeks. Next Thursday, November 3rd.
I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, don't go anywhere. We've got a huge announcement after the 5-minute break.
Yes, sir.
So,
We'll see you guys in 5.
Absolutely.
Kansas City has a new name in the pizza game. You Want a Pizza Me is Kansas City's only pro wrestling themed pizza food truck. Located across from the Black Box Theater in the West Bottoms, You Want a Pizza Me is dedicated to serving delicious flame-grilled pizzas named in homage to pro wrestling. Come try the High Flyer, El Luchador, Greener Than Grass, and their newest bestseller, The Undertaker. Regular and vegan options are available. They're also dedicated to getting you to eat your healthy vegetables with their selection of salads. Look for the big man in the luchador mask. Follow them at You Want a Pizza Me KC on social media. Kansas City is a top pro wrestling city, and You Want a Pizza Me is your spot for knockout, top-of-the-card pizza. Come get some.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the I-70 Hot Tag. if you are coming back to us, we thank you. If you are just joining us, we just got done interviewing Ethan Price, the big strong boy. So we greatly appreciate you guys sticking with us. We have a.
I want to point this out, man. Like that, that got me flustered for a minute. That research question on Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I know. So that's why I was like,
yeah, I was like, because
Josh is pretty
yeah.
good with his. Josh is pretty good with his research. So then, like, you know, when I went and looked it up and I saw it, I was like, okay, well, maybe it's not Jim. Maybe it's not Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Maybe it's somebody else.
I clicked on the name. I mean, unless I tagged the wrong Duggan, but I clicked it and it went right to 67-year-old Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So I did notice that when you look at his cage match, there's a lot of early stuff that he did that he says he did in a Canadian professional wrestling company. So
he also did say that he was a frat boy that drank a lot. So
yeah. So you never know. Never know.
Absolutely.
Man, we have a major announcement, guys. And we do have, let me get this removed from studio. All right. So we've been announcing or teasing this for the last couple weeks. We have a major guest announcement for next week's show. We're going to play a short clip, kind of, and we're going to allow the clip to make the announcement for us, and then we'll come back and chat about it. So next week, November 7th, November 3rd on the I-70 hot tag, we have a guest that we are going to play right here.
Super excited for that. AEW superstar Matt Sydal is going to be a special guest on the I-70 hot tag next Thursday. We are very, very, very excited to have Matt Sydal on. So, Matt Sydal was a staple in St. Louis for a very long time. Him and Tootie Lynn. And gosh, I forgot his Delirious.
He was just in GloryPro, teaming with Delirious, but him and Delirious kind of had a lot of history.
A lot of history. So the staying with the theme of Kansas and Missouri wrestling guys. When some of them guys will come do promotional do matches here in Kansas City or in Missouri and Kansas. We try to reach out as much as we can. We got some AEW ties, guys. I mean,
we do.
We have Brock Anderson on, and now we're gonna have Matt Sydal on. So,
and to kind of keep that local ties you talked about, Matt Sydal, 24 hours after our interview, he will be in Wichita, Kansas, wrestling for United Underground Championship Wrestling. He is going to be in action. He was there last month. He's coming back to Wichita. Chase and I are going to be in attendance to watch his match live and that entire event. Cannot wait to get out there to Wichita and check out UUCW. And man, this is going to be a fun interview. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Yeah, Brian J. Bebe knows. And that's a really good dude. So yeah, no, we are very excited for him to join us and cannot wait for next week's show. Josh purposely left next week's Thursday blocked off for that reason. Hey, buddy, while I've got you on the show, because
put me on the spot.
Well, and the reason why I'm going to do it, put you on the spot, and not wait till after we get done, is because if I don't do it now, I'll forget, and then what'll happen is I'll cut it really close to the teeth, and we don't like that. So the interview with Derek Neal, you might have to get our buddy Brian J. Bebe to do that interview with you. The 17th.
You hear that, Brian J?
Yeah,
we may be giving you the hot tag. You may have to.
Yeah, I think Mrs. AR Media would be very upset if I
anniversary.
Yeah. It didn't click until I saw the graphic come on the screen, and I saw it said November 17th, and I was like, oh shit, that's my anniversary. So yeah.
well, Brian, if you're still in here, we'll we have to get you a tag in here for a hot tag. Hopefully you're available that week. So man, and that's gonna be a fun interview too, guys, because he's gonna 2 days after our interview with him, he's gonna be going, or maybe, I think it's 24 hours after that, he's gonna be going one-on-one with Gary J for his rematch for the Gateway Heritage Heavyweight Championship. So
absolutely.
So happy anniversary to CR and AR from Hunter Dillon.
Yep.
Love it. So
hey guy, what's this?
Do it.
Fight?
Fight? This is a big announcement here, guys, for this one.
Okay. We have 4 treats that will entice you to join Fight Plus. We've got Ohio Valley Wrestling, No Rest for the Wicked, House of Glory Wrestling, Exodus, and then Absolute Intense Wrestling, AIW Skeletons, and then GloryPro Wrestling The Relentless. All these events will stream live this weekend on Fight TV. Get your membership for $4.99 a month.
Man, that's a big step for GloryPro. I don't think they're going to be streaming on their YouTube channel this weekend. They're going to be streaming on Fight TV for $4.99 a month. So if you guys want to see GloryPro The Relentless, you're going to see, we're going to run down the card later after the watch along, guys, but you're going to see Shazza McKenzie is going to be there. Camaro Jackson, the new Crown of Glory champion, Jake something, Team Bussy, Grindhouse, Moses the Deliverer is going to be there. So they're going to be on Fight, man. That's a big announcement they just made about a day or so ago.
I'm going to hit up Fight after this show and tell them that we need a promo code because I have no idea what the hell I just did. I thought we're pretty much just plugging Fight TV. I'm going to need a promo code of I-70 hot tag for 10% off or $1 off or something. Shit.
I like it. So if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we were promoting and building up KCXW Destiny, and we had on Jay Savage on the show, and one of Chase's questions to Jay Savage was asking him about who his favorite wrestler was and why it was John Cena. Well, he posted on Twitter or on Facebook earlier this week, I think yesterday actually, and here's the post. Me wondering why the I-70 hot tag asked me if John Cena was my favorite wrestler. Me on the I-70 hot tag. Uncanny, man.
It's ridiculous. I wish he wrestles. So for you guys that don't know Jay Savage, he wrestles in a singlet, and he's got the build. Obviously, he's not as tall as John Cena. John Cena is like 6'3", 6'4", something like that. But he's got the build like John, and he's got that baby face like John has. I was sitting there thinking, like, when we went to KCXW, I was like, if he came out in shorts, he'd look just like the prototype. Like the ruthless aggression John Cena that came out on SmackDown, and yeah. So when we interviewed him, I was just sitting there thinking, and he like he had the hat on and stuff when he had like the look and when he was on, and like I had seen Jay Savage wrestle on like KCXW's Facebook pages and stuff, but like getting like not anything against KCXW does good quality, but like their cameras are outside, so you don't really get a good look at Jay's face. And so when he was sitting in the sitting with us on the I-70 hot tag, I just kept hitting me. I was like, who does he remind me of? And then like right before I asked that question, I was like, it's John Cena. And I was like, oh my God, dude, that makes so much sense. And then so that's why I was like, hey, we're gonna go off script here. And then that's when I asked him, I was like, who is your favorite wrestler and why is it John Cena?
It was fantastic. He does a lot of cosplaying. And you're gonna give me shit for this, but who did John Cena play from the DC universe?
Peacemaker.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, he does a lot of cosplaying on his Instagram page as Peacemaker and obviously as John Cena. So really, anything John Cena plays, he kind of follows right behind. So yeah, Peacemaker. So Chase, let's talk CSW.
Yes, sir. The 5th of November is quickly approaching, guys, and the team at CSW are dropping promos almost daily. We already played the Ethan Price video earlier, but they posted another one just a couple of days ago from the King's Road Slayer, Derek Neal. So let's take a look at that video.
Competition. When you set foot in a Central States wrestling ring, one thing you can always bet your ass on is there's going to be good competition. And that's why I am returning to the Kansas City, Kansas National Guard Armory on November 5th for Central States Wrestling presents Vendetta. And I got the luck of the draw. I got one of the best fighters in the Midwest. I got somebody that's got the fighting spirit of a lion. Someone who's one of the most naturally gifted athletes I have ever seen. And Mike Outlaw. We're no stranger to each other, Mike. We're pretty familiar. 4 years ago. 4 years ago. In some small town in central Illinois, you and I, we went to war. We pushed ourselves to our limits till we damn near had nothing left. But you were the better man on that night. You bested me on that night, but here we are 4 years later, and it's come around full circle. And I'm a whole different man than I was 4 years ago, Mike. I am on top of my game. So, Mike, these fans, they are going to remember the 5th of November. They're going to remember the night that Derek Neal and Mike Outlaw went to war. And they tore down the Kansas City, Kansas National Guard Armory. They're going to remember that night. Mike, may the best man with
you. Very exciting to see Mike Outlaw and the King's Road Slayer get it on at CSW Vendetta on November 5th. Beckerman says, cannot wait for CSW. Got my tickets and ready for next weekend.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. We are ready as well. So
yeah,
it's going to be crazy.
We'll be there. We're sponsoring the tag team match, the Howletts versus Davey Vega and Brian Keith. We will have a table set up there. You'll make sure you come up and say hi to us. Introduce yourself. We really appreciate you tuning in each and every week. But that Derek Neal and Mike Outlaw match, that's going to be fantastic, man. Like both of them guys are just tearing it up in Kansas and Missouri. Both of them really tearing it up. I mean, Derek Neal's he's running St. Louis Anarchy. And then you've got, Mike Outlaw, who has basically ran GloryPro. This is going to be a fun clash here in Kansas City. So, and Mike Outlaw there, he was just the former number one contender for CSW or for the DWF title. So, should be fun.
Absolutely. Brian J says, I'll be there super early.
I'm assuming he's going to be setting up that ring, which is fun. I don't know how early we're going to be there. I know, Chase, you're going to have your family in attendance as well. I think my wife's going to join me as well this time. She has not been out to a local event. Fun fact, I had my wife, my 3 sisters were all going to attend the Journey Pro event in April of 2020, just before all the shutdowns happened and that event got canceled. So nobody went. So it's going to be fun to get her there and kind of see. She used to watch WWE with me back when we first were dating. So it's going to be fun to get her see how she likes the local atmosphere. And eventually I'll get my sisters out there as well, but both of our families will be out there. So one more topic before we get to our watch along, guys.
Let's knock this one out. New Breed Wrestling, New Breed Midwest PopCon Title triple threat match. We're gonna get the Iceman, El Diablo, and Frodo the Ghost. And Frodo, I can't see. I can't even say this with a straight face,
dude. It was Frodo the Ghost. He sent in a video clip and he's ready for a fight. Let's take a look.
It's about to get real. Iceman, once again, you and I meet face to face for the New Breed Wrestling Midwest PopCon Championship. This time, there's an interloper in the match. It goes by the name of El Diablo Vega. By coincidence, you both have beaten me. Hats off to you, gentlemen. Bet you're feeling pretty special for that accomplishment. Thing is, neither of you are crazy enough to catch me slipping like that again. No. El Diablo, you portray that you're crazy, but you're not me crazy. Iceman, I'm gonna push you to the brink of sheer insanity. I'm marvelously deranged, and I'm coming to hurt you both. November 5th in Fulton, Missouri, New Breed Wrestling. The New Breed Midwest PopCon champion, Iceman, El Diablo Vega, and Frodo the Ghost in a triple threat match for the New Breed Wrestling Midwest PopCon Championship. Smile for me while you can, gentlemen.
Frodo the Ghost, my man.
Yeah, Frodo the Ghost. That was a great promo, Frodo. Anyways, if anybody from New Breed or anybody with any connections to New Breed happens to come across this, your boy does graphic designs. I do all the graphic designs, make all the logos for my streams, and I've got 20 years experience for it. So if you guys are looking for a graphic designer, I'm cheap. So slide in the DMs because you guys could use one. So you guys could definitely use one. So
what we got now is a watch along for the CSW Strapped, which went down on May 14th, 2022. It's a triple threat match for it was Dan the Dad, Luigi Primo, and our guest tonight, Ethan Price. So what we're going to do is we're going to share the screen. We're going to play the video. It's about 13, 15 minute long match. We're going to stay on the screen so we can chat with you guys. You can continue to chat. We're going to show the comments as they roll in. But this is just kind of getting us hyped up for CSW, because this is the match where, you know, we talked about it a little bit earlier, where or in the promo that Ethan Price said that he said he's already beaten Luigi. This is the match that's kind of started this whole deal where Luigi and Ethan are kind of going to settle the score here at Vendetta. So I'm going to share the screen here. We're going to watch the match. Again, continue to chat in the comment section. We're going to be on screen. I think you guys should be able to still hear us as we move along here. So let's get this kicked off, guys, and share screen. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Ba-boom. Let me know if you can hear it, Chase. I think I got to share the.
Three-way matchup that will see Luigi Primo.
Give me 2 seconds, guys. I got it. There was a button. Yeah, I had to share the. There was a button I got to share. There you go. Share screen. Share system audio. All right, now you guys should be able to hear it. My bad. Let's get it going again. All right.
A three-way matchup that will see Luigi Primo, the big strong boy Ethan Price, and Dan the Dad square off in this our next matchup at Strapped. Let's get down to our ring announcer.
Hey, can you still hear me? Hey, it's really loud. So that's why I hit the mute button.
It's probably loud on your end, Chase, because you can hear my computer. It's going to be double audio for you. Chase, are you able to hear me right now?
Yeah.
Ryan just watched this show last weekend. Man, this was a fun show, man. This was the one before Rise of an Outlaw, right?
That is correct.
It sounds just fine on my YouTube when I turned it up, so it's probably just killing your ears. So guys, we are let me turn I got the banner on here. So make sure you guys stick around, because we are not done after this is over. We're going to discuss a couple other events going on at this weekend, GloryPro and Cape Championship Wrestling. We're going to run down their card. But Dan the Dad, what a character. Speaking of characters. Primo.
It's time for a three-way matchup, and this our next event here at Strapped. As that man Luigi Primo takes on the big strong boy Ethan Price and Dan the Dad. Luigi Primo, the very popular wrestler here in CSW, as is Dan the Dad. I wish I could say the same for the big strong boy Ethan Price, but that is not the case. We've got the bell. Referee for this matchup, Adam Kennedy. Ethan Price immediately bowing out. And that leaves Dan the Dad and Luigi Primo in the ring. Luigi twirling his pizza dough and Dan the Dad with a cup of coffee. Not sure those, I'm quite certain those aren't legal weapons in professional wrestling, and they probably should be tossed out of the ring, but here we are.
Definitely one of the best, Brian. He got a huge pop at one of the AEW events that well before our podcast in Kansas City. The crowd just, him and Dean Alexander both got a huge pop in the KC crowd. They both wrestled, I don't know if they wrestled each other, but
reversal standing switch by Luigi Primo, a standing switch by Dan the Dad. Overhand wrist lock by Primo. And to escape an arm drag by Dan the Dad.
This segment with the pizza and
here we have a big strong boy Ethan Price on the top rope. He catches two fists to the breadbasket for his efforts, courtesy of Luigi Primo and Dan the Dad.
You know, it's pretty cool that this was one of the first
big strong boy
CSW
and a big double back body drop sends him crashing down to the canvas.
Try a heel character. He's killing it.
Waist lock go behind by Dan. Luigi tossing that dough, providing a bit of a distraction.
I knew Dean was local. I knew
as Dan lets go of that rear waist lock.
I think he wrestled.
Into the ropes goes Primo. Shoulder tackle.
I don't remember who it was, but the crowd popped pretty hard for him. So.
And Luigi showing why he is the best pizza chef. Hip up by Primo, back to his feet. Arm drag takedown by Primo. Make that two as he keeps a hold of his pizza dough. Big overhand chop by Primo. Scaling the ropes, nicely done by Luigi Primo. Ethan Price now into the ring, catches an arm drag. And a snapmare by Primo. That pizza dough just slapped across the back of the big strong boy Ethan Price. Primo now going to work with a nerve hold on the traps of Ethan Price. Snapmare by Price, breaks free. Duck at the clothesline by Primo. Up and over, face first, goes Luigi Primo, and a boot right to the side of the face of Primo, courtesy of Ethan Price.
Big strong boy. Here comes Dan.
Price unaware that Dan the Dad is behind him. He knows now. Price with a wild swing. And a little dad humor out of Dan the Dad. As he now with the schoolboy. 2 count only. Front face lock.
Aubrey Edwards is not a terrible ref, Brian.
High vertical suplex, textbook by Dan the Dad. He's letting all that blood rush to the head of Ethan Price.
Come on.
Price screaming.
Definitely not a terrible ref.
As he is taken right down to the canvas with that suplex.
Now, I do say
cover.
All Dan the Dad's
2 count only. This three-way matchup is one fall to a finish with a 20-minute time limit.
Who was it?
It is not elimination rules.
Was it Ortiz? that stomped on his glasses?
Dan the Dad charging in, back elbow, greets Ethan Price. Irish whip, no reversal by Price. Luigi Primo back in the ring, but he's shoved into the corner that Dan is in. Catches a forearm and back out of the ring he goes. Ethan Price charges through with a big clothesline. Up and over he goes. Middle rope bulldog. Nicely done by the big strong boy Ethan Price. We've got a cover. 2 count only. Price now stomping away at the lower back lumbar area of Dan the Dad. Any dad will tell you they've got a bad lower back. And Ethan Price going right to work on it as he's got another cover.
Not an Aubrey Edwards.
Good for a 2 count.
You know what?
I've seen a few people who aren't. It is what it is.
Forearm shot.
No, I mean, I
Primo
get
sends
it.
him back outside.
I have learned to respect people.
Price doing a great job of keeping control of this matchup. Inside cradle. 2 count only by Dan the Dad. Before Dan the Dad. Standing sidekick to the breadbasket and a European uppercut. A big clothesline levels Dan the Dad.
There was an argument the other night that somebody tried to say that
Price with the cover only gets a 2 count.
And then, of course, there's people a bunch of weird people on TikTok that they don't like, or they think Shawn Michaels is overrated.
Ethan Price showing off his strength with a modified fireman's carry. Float over by Dan the Dad. And I did not need to see that.
I did not need to see that.
A full moon over the Camelot Ballroom in Overland Park, Kansas. Big right hand jabs.
Classic.
A series of them by Dan the Dad, finding their mark right on the jaw and chin of Ethan Price. As behind you see Luigi Primo struggling to get back into the ring. A big windup by Dan the Dad, but he's cut off with a kick to the midsection by Ethan Price. Luigi Primo now with that pizza dough right into the face of Price, and a big right hand sends Ethan Price down to the canvas. Dan the Dad charges in, catches a shoulder of the breadbasket. Up and over goes Luigi Primo. Primo into the ropes, ducks a clothesline, and comes off with a flying forearm that takes Dan the Dad down to the canvas.
Brian, you're still in here.
And a spin wheel kick nicely done by Luigi
video
Primo.
quality pretty good on
Primo
this.
into the ropes.
I'm just seeing it from our stream.
Swinging neck breaker, textbook
I'm assuming
done.
it is, since last time we did this, we got a bunch of comments saying it's skipping. So I'm assuming it's playing pretty
Primo
smooth.
with a series of somersaults
I've watched
to the
it on
chest
there.
of Ethan Price. Not sure if they're affecting this, but he scoops up Dan the Dad and slams him right on top of the
look
awaiting
who's
Ethan
coming out.
Price.
Look at that.
Luigi Primo
Belvedere.
now in control of this three-way matchup. And now we got Niles Planquet and Belvedere out at ringside. What the hell are they doing out here? Backtracked by Luigi by Ethan Price to the distracted Luigi Primo.
We'll
Ethan
say,
Price ducking the
is that the real
enziguri.
Belvedere? Or?
Deadlift, German suplex, 2 count only. Ethan Price may be annoying to some people, but make no mistake about it, he is a great competitor in the ring. Fireman's carry by Price.
You didn't hear that from me, though.
Standing switch, Price with the waistlock, go behind waistlock, but he's greeted with an elbow, courtesy of Dan the Dad.
Brian J. Baby.
Dan sweeping out the leg of Ethan Price. What does Dan have in store? Looks like he's taking off his belt.
Taking off his belt.
Dan the Dad right across the backside of Ethan Price, taking him to the woodshed. Fireman's carry by Dan. Trying to go for that backpack stunner. He hits it. Backpack stunner. This should do it. We've got a cover. 2 and no. Luigi Primo there to break it up. Trying to keep my eye on Niles Planquet and Belvedere out there at the ringside area.
Crowd chanting pizza.
We're just there to scout out all 3 men. As Primo fires off a forearm shot, Dan the Dad returning the favor. Both men now exchanging a series of forearms right in the center of the ring. It looks like Luigi's getting the better of it. But now Belvedere up on the apron. He catches a double forearms from Luigi and
See, we're on
Dan.
we're on the side of the hard cam, so we're not going to
Boots to the gut of
not gonna see
big
us.
strong boy Ethan Price. And Niles Planquet sweeping out the leg of Dan the Dad and slamming Dan the Dad head first into that steel post. And a forearm shot to Luigi Primo. Fireman's carry by Ethan Price into a slam. Big strong slam for a cover. 3, that'll do it.
And there you have it. There you have it. With the help
Thanks in part
of
to
the
those two men.
connoisseur, Niles Planquet.
Niles Planquet and Belvedere. The winner of this
Ethan
matchup,
Price.
the big strong boy, Ethan Price.
Gets the win. Now we did see Niles Planquet take
I
on
gave Niles Planquet and Belvedere the benefit of the
Luigi
doubt,
Primo.
thinking they were just here to scout the competitors of this matchup, but no, they wanted to get involved.
Horseman Country. That was at Horseman Country, wasn't it?
Got to imagine there's going to be some fallout from that sooner rather than later. But nonetheless, your winner, that man, the big
We had
strong
Niles
boy,
on, and we
Ethan
talked
Price.
about pizza and wine and how he thinks wine is. All right, so we're moving this from the. All right, there we have it, guys. Kind of the kickstarting this feud with Ethan Price and Luigi Primo. This kind of the backstory of what happened and why this match is taking place. So should be super fun to see both of them do battle, and both are fantastic characters, man. The big strong boy versus the best pizza chef, gonna be fun, and we'll see if old Ethan can squeeze that pizza sauce out of Luigi's head.
We're gonna do a couple of quick rundowns. So we're gonna start off with CCW Hardcore Halloween, which is gonna be Saturday, October 29th. Like I said, quick rundown here. We've got Marco Stunt and Walker Hayes versus Swoggle and Aaron Roberts. We've also got the Pinnacle versus Hollis Grow, El Diablo, and the Infinite. Josh has kind of billed that as the KCXW crew. And then we're going to get Denzel Rollins versus Trent Daniels versus Peyton Ayers for the Pure Openweight Championship. Joey O'Reilly versus Brian Rogers. That's going to be a street fight for the CCW Heavyweight Championship. Dangerous and Delicious with Shylin versus Slammer and Alan Jones. No, not AJ Styles Alan Jones, a different Alan Jones. Do not get excited. Still going to be a great match nonetheless. And then the Academy versus the Crawleys, and Reign Victoria versus MDB for the Women's Championship. And then JJ Walker versus Logan Stunt versus Abel Booker. And that is CCW Cape Championship Wrestling Hardcore Halloween, October 29th.
Yes, sir. And then one day later, just north of there, a few hours north of there, because they're in the Boot Heel of Missouri. This is going to be happening at GloryPro in St. Louis, The Relentless on October 30th. This is going to be another middle of the day show. It starts at 3 p.m., I believe, 2 or 3 p.m. A lot of fun matches, guys. Lainey Luck is taking on Shaza McKenzie. That women's match is going to be absolutely fantastic. If you didn't know, we're going to probably cover it next week, but Lainey Luck, for the third straight year, has been voted in the top 100 women's wrestlers in for PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 100 women wrestlers for the third straight year. Congratulations to Lainey, and much well-deserved. Ethan Price is going to take on Jake Something. Raheem Della Suede versus Tootie Lynn, two Team Ambition members of Team Ambition. A fatal four-way for the Crown of Glory title in Camaro Jackson's first defense. He is taking on Mike Outlaw, Kenny Alfonso and Xavier in a fatal 4-way match. That's going to be an awesome match to see live. Grindhouse is defending the United Glory Tag Team titles against Team Bussy, and just recently added Karam and Rohit are going to be in there as well. So it's actually a three-way tag team match for the United Glory Tag titles. Blair Onyx, Heather Reckless, and Heidi Howitzer in a triple threat match. Heidi Howitzer was a last-minute add to that card. And then Benjamin Trust, ATM, and Moses Deliverer are going to take on Shota, GPA, and Crash Jackson. That is GloryPro The Relentless on October 30th in St. Louis, Missouri.
Wouldn't mind. No. Every single time, like GloryPro has a lot of great cards, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And if you go to and we could plan this, man. If they ever have like this right here, this would be I mean, obviously it's still short notice, but if we went to southeastern Missouri for CCW on a Saturday, drove 2 hours north the next day, we can go to a GloryPro event because GloryPro runs on Sunday no matter what.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, if they ran on the same weekend as a St. Louis Anarchy or
that's right. We'd have to plan our weekends around it, but it could work.
It could work.
It could work. I agree. Absolutely. And I think that does it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We are just to kind of run through some future indie shows here. As we talked about, October 29th, Cape Championship Wrestling presents Hardcore Halloween. Marco Stunt and Swoggle are going to be in a tag match against each other. And then the next day, October 30th, GloryPro presents The Relentless at the South Broadway Club in St. Louis, Missouri. November 4th, United Underground Championship Wrestling presents Wild for the Night in Wichita, Kansas. Boys, the I-70 Hot Tag are going to be in attendance there. And then the next day, Central States Wrestling presents Vendetta. There's going to be a fatal 4-way to crown the first ever CSW champion. And then your boys, the I-70 Hot Tag, are going to be there as well. I'm going to be at a table because we are sponsoring the tag match between the Howletts and Davey Vega and Brian Keith. And then also on November 5th, New Breed Wrestling is doing their suplexing for toys in Fulton, Missouri. World League Wrestling is doing their 23-year anniversary show. The NWA World's Heavyweight Champion and WLW veteran Trevor Murdoch will be there. So got a pretty packed couple of weeks of wrestling in the Kansas and Missouri area, guys. So if you're in the vicinity, definitely check it out. Definitely get your ass out there and go see some awesome wrestling. I've said this once, I've said it 1,000 times. If ATM doesn't come out to Here Comes the Money. Yeah. I've said it 100 times, guys. I'm a firm believer in the Midwest wrestling scene. I think it's the best wrestling in the country. I know the East Coast has a lot of great stuff going on. They got a lot of big names over there that do a lot of independent stuff as well. But I don't know, man. I'm a huge fan of what we got going on here in the Midwest, and I'd put it up against any area in the country. So our future I-70 Hot Tag, as of right now, there's not much going on with the pit stop. We did have a special pit stop this past Monday with Anaya Howlett. But looking forward, we're just looking at the hot tag right now. And as announced earlier in the show, next week's guest, Matt Seidel, formerly known as Evan Bourne. You can check out Evan Bourne's stuff in WWE, Matt Seidel's stuff in AEW. Matt Seidel has been a St. Louis staple for a very long time. So it's gonna be lots of fun to get in and interview and ask Matt Seidel some questions. Don't miss that show next week, guys. As you guys know, we It's a user interactive show, so you guys can ask Matt Seidel questions as well. So make sure you get that in. Other than that, that's all we've got tonight, guys.
Yep, we appreciate you sticking around, watching that watch along with us. And guys, we have a huge show next week. Cannot wait for Seidel. And again, he is going to be at UUCW Wild for the Night on next Friday night. And your boys at the I-70 Hot Tag are going to be there as well. So if you're in Wichita, man, get out there, buy your tickets. They are selling quick. It's on Ticketmaster. Go check them out and come say, hey, we're going to be wearing probably these exact same shirts. Be easy to find. So yeah, guys, it's UUCW Wild for the Night on November 4th. And then the very next night, Novaland, and it's not Novaland Park anymore, Kansas City, Kansas, for CSW Vendetta. So we'll be there as well. 2 nights. Man, what a weekend we're getting ready to have.
I know. I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Lots of wrestling coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Not a Where's Waldo scenario. Hunter, we appreciate you joining. Brian, Jay, baby, we appreciate you sticking in. Anybody that's still watching, we appreciate you joining and sticking around. As usual, guys, make sure you go follow us on social media, the I-70 Hot Tag, The Real Josh Elliott, and of course, CR Media. Looked at my TikTok. I think I'm 14 away from 1,000 now. So slowly chipping away. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you joining as well. Guys. Good fight and good night.